Alright, so we're gonna do a video on making a montage. I mean, I'm probably gonna speed it up because this takes forever. It's gonna take a long time, but this is the song I'm using. I'm not gonna, I think it's right here, FitX video, and then these are the 6 clips. I think this one has 2 in it, and then so there's technically 7. So basically I'm just gonna go over effects I use, probably just pumps and flashes, and then maybe a few added ones like cinematics and stuff, but I'm gonna speed it up until I get to those points and slow it down, talk about it, stuff like that, and then I'll show preview. I'm probably gonna do the intro, which is about that long, and then or a little bit shorter, like there, and then there's gonna be a clip here that goes all the way up until the drop right here, and then yeah, so I'm gonna have to cut that clip down to around 15 seconds to do that. So I'm gonna have to find a small clip, good one for the opener, and then I'll do the intro and the first clip, and then show a preview at the end, and then the full montage will come out. I don't even know whenever I have time to finish it. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so we sync the clip up so that it drops right the right point. This is the Prolly's clip, so I'm actually gonna have to add 2 different things. If you want to know how to do black bars, this is how you do it. Wait, solid color, you just grab a big white, this comes up, you just drag it all the way across. I'm just going to do this now instead of later. You just line it up at the end, and then you go to this little button and you hit mask, and then if you go into the clip and then you pan crop, you get this little window, and you can drag this up and down. So yeah, you can change the black bars. I like it just above the last man standing bar thing. I don't think you can see my mouse actually, which is kind of dumb because I told OBS to do it, to freaking put my mouse there, but I don't really care that much. And then yeah, that's how you add black bars. But the first sync up is right there, so you just have to do it right when it does that. You can see in the music goes, drops right there. So I'm gonna have to actually move it back a bit because this doesn't really matter. You can just split it at any point, but you make it a little bit length. And so this is gonna be the bass one. So then you go drag it in a little bit, only a little bit, and you go to the end, and you hit restore. And then it should have a little bit of a there you go. And then if you want to add brightness and contrast, which is actually the thing that adds all the light effects in it, drag the brightness up to around between 200 and 300, and then contrast you boost really high. And you gotta press these 2 little clock things, and then you just go to the end, and you put 0 for them. So then it goes back to normal by the end. And see, it just ends off smooth, and it doesn't like move anything. Then you have 1, and then the next drop is here. Wait, back here. Here we go. Right here. Split. You take about the same length, so right there-ish. You can copy event, add copy, and then paste event attributes, so then it goes. And you can see that it ends off perfectly because it's actually long. This one's longer than that one. If this was shorter, like cut around here, and then it would be shorter than this, and it would have like a little cutoff, so it would be like it would almost finish, and then it would just skip straight to the end. So if you want to copy and paste event attributes, the clip needs to be longer than the original. That way you don't get all those dumb skips. And this is really screwing me up actually. I don't know why it's like this. Let's zoom in a little bit. You can just drag that to the end, the little diamond thing. That way it truly ends at the end of the clip. And then you have And I think I do want brightness on both of them. Sometimes I alternate it and I take off the brightness, just because it gets too much if you keep adding the brightness. But I'm gonna leave it on this one. Yeah, and then I actually have to add the text. The text is probably the hardest part because you have to remember exact coordinates of the words for every single name, which kind of sucks. And I actually bought these from FaZe Barker. I bought these fonts, this cool Gotham font, which is actually pretty sick. I use around 26, 24 sometimes. I'm gonna use 26 this time though. Placement, I don't know if I want to put it down here like I normally like it. I really like it down there, but then again, appears nice. I don't put it on the black bar because that just looks stupid in my opinion. Or like down there. I'll just put it right there, right in between the kill and the radar. So then, if you look over here, the coordinates, I like to make them round numbers. That way it's easier to remember. Negative 0.5 and 0.47. See, it just barely moves it at all. And then you can just choose a color. I don't know what color I want. I think I'll just do blue for this one. And then the scaling is just the hugeness of it. So I'm just going to move that back to 1. And then tracking is the spacing of the letters. So I don't want to make it too spaced. I like more squished up like that. I just like it normal at 1. And then leading, I don't even know what this does because I never use it. So the background is dumb because that just changes the whole scene itself, so don't change that. Outline, I sometimes like to do this where you do a small feather and a huge width, and then you put black in the back, or white. White looks really bad though. So not a huge width, like that, and then a shadow with a huge feather. And then it looks like that. I'm gonna trim it down to around that much. It should be fine. Let's just see how long it stays for. Oh, and another cool thing I like to do is splitting the text with the clip and then copying the attributes of the clip and pasting it here and then removing the brightness change. So that way the name pumps out with the clip. See? I actually have to check and see if it ends smoothly. Yeah, it does. Okay. It ends smoothly, and that's good. So we have the name down, and you have to do that for like every single name at the start of the clip, which kind of sucks. You have to remember all those coordinates and text font and size, and it's really annoying and tedious. So nice job. I don't know if this is one. I'm actually gonna go get a cinematic. I'll be right back, probably. And I don't know if you can actually see, but I'm gonna be recording my Xbox. So I'm just gonna put the Elgato software here, so you can see how I record my cinematics. Oh, don't make it that big. I'll actually full screen it. So this is what I'm doing right now. This is the clip. And then, so what I'm gonna do is this is like the overkill's right there, and then killtacular. So I want if I look at the clip, I want a cinematic for which one? The Killtrosity. Okay, so that's actually this guy right here. This little dude. Oh wait, no, this is the killtacular. That's the Killtrosity. So I'm gonna zoom in, because zoomed in things look 10 times cooler. I'm just gonna start recording now, because to record the whole thing, obviously. I'm gonna be moving from the left to the right like that. So but I gotta get it just right. That was a bit too slow. Let's try again. Oh, that was a bit too slow as well. Okay, that one looked fine. Just end the recording. So that'll go. If you open up this. This is where my Elgato files go. I don't know what this is. Hold on to play it. Oh, unseen footage. No. So I'm gonna go to the end, which is where the cinematic was. I actually have to mute this. Okay, so it's like right here. Split, cut this stuff. Alright, so I'm going to place it in return for all this. Cut it right there. I wonder how much this actually adds. I'm actually going to have to unpair this by pressing U, so that way I only have the clip. If I put it up here, when does it start? Right before he comes out of the wall thing here. So where does this end? Right when I'm shooting. Right there. So you split it and cut it. And then you line it up with this. And you split the other side. Right at that point. You can unpair the audio. Delete that. Drag this down and replace it. So then you have some So now we have a cinematic working. And then I think these two kills sync up with the music. Yeah. So right there. And right there. You just place it right there. Just end the clip right there. So we're gonna take the demo clip, or the one that has the pump on it, and go to the front one, which is where the little pump effect is, and you copy it. Then you can go pan crop this one, paste it. That way it's the exact same pump effect and none other. You go to this next one and do the exact same thing. So that way you have two pumps. And then one of them is the second one's gonna have flash, so we'll just copy the event attributes and paste it and see if it actually ends at. So it actually doesn't quite end. See how it's like a little bit off? You just have to restore it, and that way it actually ends. There you go. Okay. So that works. And then this is a build up actually, so there's going to be some black bars. See that little psh before the drop? So this is going to be actually a pump right before the kill. There's actually going to be a bunch of pumps later, but this one's just going to be a small one. I'm just going to see if it works. It's got to be a little one, though. Yeah, that works. And then we have the big one. It's actually right here on each of them, so there's one right here. This is exactly where the beat drops. You just have to constantly split it with the music. Right there. Right there. Actually, don't want to do that last one. That way the fade is actually a lot longer. And then, so you have the drop here. Where is it? Confused. Oh, okay, there we go. Copy. We do want this one to have brightness and contrast, so you paste event attributes. See how it just ends straight off? So you have to go into the pan crop. And at the very end, you see how it's like, I don't know why it's not letting me go to the end here. You just make another one, so it's finally ends. Fine. You do need to make this a little bit more of a pump effect. That way it's like... I think I split it at the wrong point. It's actually right here at each one. Fail. To just change it real fast. Even the last one with the fade, so it looks like it's actually too much of a pump, so I'm gonna have to go down a little bit, move it out a little bit, copy it, paste it on this one, and then we're gonna have to copy this event attributes a little bit and then paste it on all the other ones. Yeah, so that one was the correct beat drop or whatever. So it looks like this. I just want to see the whole clip first. So that does look very cool. So now I'm gonna have to get cinematics for the start. I don't know what I'm gonna do though. What does the song sound like? So I'm just going to place this clip. I'm going to do the intro off this video. I mean, the intro is just doing cinematics and then placing text over it saying like, welcome to blah blah blah, you know what I mean. So I'm going to actually copy this into a separate, and the OBS recording, copy this into a separate Vegas file and upload it in a second, and then there should be a rendered clip of this at the very end to show how to do that. And then, yeah, so that's the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. This is basically what I do for like all my clips, and then you add like a couple cool cinematics here and there. But that's basically how you have to do every single clip until you finish the song or whatever, or you want to cut off a song and add a new one, etc., etc. So yeah, if you did like it, leave a like, and I'll do more if I ever get better and I start learning more tricks. I'll definitely do tutorials on those if I ever, you know, get better at this and start using more effects. Like, there's so many you can use, but some of them don't really have to do with montages. So yeah, that's it.